go up to the teller who was about 100. She's probably really 40. And you'd go, yeah, because you know when you're a kid, everybody looks 100. You know, when they're 40, they're like, oh, she's really old. You go in, and you know, there's the teller there, and you know, you're there like, hi, I want to deposit my 10 cents. And then the teller's writing it down in a ledger, which is a big book with lots of columns. Google it. And you'd write it in pencil, because you'd always have to erase pencil, and they'd have these little columns, they'd have these big ledgers. And at the end of the day, the teller would bring the ledgers up to the head teller. The teller, they'd all be added up, and the head teller would reconcile them. Reconcile was one of the first words I learned as a kid, seriously. When I was like 4, I was like, reconcile, reconcile. And then they'd go to my mom to sign off. And my mom was very proud of the fact that, that she had never lost any money in her life. She was like, I never lost a dime in all those times. And like, without a computer? She was on her second iPad and her third mobile phone. Only Apple. That's all she wanted was apples. Yeah. So she was very resilient on the right. Very resilient. And she was resilient from the start of learning technology to that, because she stayed open and applied the characteristics that she learned to run the bank to learning new technology. And after all of that, here's your nugget. If you're change ready in one part of your life, which my mother was very change ready with the bank, look at the characteristics and abilities that help you adapt to change in that area, which is what we did, and apply those to the areas that you have to learn or how you get stuck. So we're not going to talk about this, but what I am going to say to you is this. That was just a fun little 2-minute exercise. I don't really care if you did that. But this is what I really want you to consider. Were you open to even trying it? Think about that. Were you open, or were you one of those people that's like, this is stupid, I'm not going to do it? Just think about that. Because guess what? That was 3 minutes of your life. And I didn't ask you to make a change, did I? You didn't need to do this outside. But there is value in looking for what people's commitment is underneath this. When you look for the commitment underneath, what it does is it validates the other person that they're not just a complainer. And so think about this. If you have a client phoning you, complaining about the service you're providing, do you want me to tell you how to tick them off? You know what? I'll tell you how to tick them off if you don't know how. All you have to say is complain. It's like, you know what? Yeah, we provide crappy service. Y'all gonna do that? Or you can say, oh, I'll give you a free trade, or I'll give you $50. I'll send you a Starbucks gift certificate. That's gonna tick them off even more. If you want to get onto the client side of the bridge when they're complaining about something, get into what they're committed to. Think about a difference in dialogue if it looks like this. They're complaining about something, you're like, hey, you know what? I can hear you're really committed to receiving timely statements. I'm sorry we didn't get this one on time. Moving them down that path of change fast. If the solution that you're putting in place to help you deal with the change, if you want to make sure it's solution focused, you want to use this question as a filter. If we put this solution in place, will we be sitting around here in another year having the same conversation again? Because that's not change, that's being stuck. So when you're taking a solution-focused approach, you always want to look at, if we solve this problem, will it solve it for a long period of time? Or are we going to be sitting here a year from now going, oh, clients want this. Once again, we didn't give it to them. All our competitors are giving it to them, and we got to sort of ramp up and get there. You don't want to be running your business that way and being a part of that. So your role can be to help people to say, you know, if we do this, I'm good with doing this, but if we do this, are we going to be having the same conversation a year from now? Because it's all of our responsibilities. Because like I said earlier, you're all leaders regardless of your job title. My challenge to you as you leave the conference today is to ask this question and answer this question to yourself, which is, what one positive thing can you do tomorrow or whenever you go back to work that can create positive change in your world? Now, that does not mean making roses and lollipops and sunshine out of crap, because not all change is about roses and sunshine, lollipop and rainbows. It's not. But how can you take a positive approach? What one thing can you do when you go back to work to take a positive approach when you encounter change? Because what I can tell you is this: if Max can do it, you can too. Thank you.